really wanted to commit, my own work to, particularly around 2015 when the Trump election was happening, particularly 2016 when there was the institutional murder of Rohit Vemula. And, I was following a lot of Ambedkarites on social media and, realizing I come from a dominant caste background. So realizing that, oh my goodness, caste is and the kind of injustice around education is a very central problem globally. And so that's when I changed my thesis topic to, because I was reading Dr. W.B. Du Bois, I was reading Dr. Ambedkar, to the question of caste and race, and how they're reproduced in India and US. And basically, like, over the course of those years, I'll share more with you over the Q&A, my journey in terms of writing the thesis and finishing it. I finished the thesis in 2023, and then I did a 2-year postdoc at University of Chicago, like a teaching postdoc. And now I'm back in India, and yeah, very excited to work with you all, in terms of supporting more PhD and master's applications, and yeah, doing some really awesome work with Swagata and Eklavya Foundation. So yeah, really excited, and yeah, happy to discuss over email and discuss over the Q&A today.
Awesome. Thanks, Uday. Um, I'll also give a brief introduction to myself. So my name is Arvind Ilamaran, and I am right now a research scientist with an organization called National Opinion Research Center, which
आवाज
is
कम
in
क्यों?
University of Chicago. And oh, just a second. I think somebody's mic is off. I'm getting echo, so just in case. Um, Uday is definitely the scholar. I am much more have been on the public policy side of things. So I trained as a bachelor's in engineering. I worked in ONGC in India for 4 years before I transitioned to education policy for 2 years in Delhi. And then in 2015, I applied to do master's in public policy in University of Chicago. And uh, two things. One, I can talk about later in Q&A the actual topic of research and what I did. But I think for the purpose of today's meeting, I wanted to say that like when I applied, I did not have a lot of like personal connections who had gone for masters in public policy in the US, or not a lot of family relatives or cousins who could advise me on how to apply for masters and how do you search for the right information. Hopefully, that is the kind of information I want to provide through my duration with this program in this mentorship role. So I know that after I came to US, I wish I had known a lot of things. Things about, how do you approach professors, or, how can you enjoy the how can you enjoy the process of applying to US or outside? Generally, it's also a process of self-discovery in a way, which is not a bad thing. It's like a byproduct of this process. So I learned a lot of things about the do's and don'ts of applying, and after you come here, what to do and everything. And I always thought, like, I wish I can share this with somebody else so that they don't have to go through the same problem. But one thing is definitely sure is that unless you guys ask the questions, we will not know what to say. Which means for today's session, like, don't hold back. There are no bad questions. There are no, there's absolutely no judgment about what you know and what you don't know. We have, like, Uday and me have gone through different aspects of at least social science research, in different policy side also, research side also. So we will be definitely able to give much more contextual feedback when it comes to social science. But if you guys are interested in doing things other than social science also, we will do our best to give you the most honest information. But then I will definitely tell you that you should go and seek out the right people for other kinds of stuff. So we will be honest about what we share with you, but it also means you have to be honest about your doubts. Um, yeah, but all the other my profile things, I'm very focused on youth development or mostly the identity development in adolescence, in teenagers. So for me, that how do you help people or young people develop healthy identity is the main question, whether it's research or work, or even me and Uday met talking about these kind of topics actually for the first time. So just to say that a lot of this information is good to know when you talk casually. So just treat us like we are sitting with you in a casual room drinking chai and like just ask random questions. And I hope that's the tone for the conversation. Swagata.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And also to let people know, I mean, most of I can see the people those have joined, they're already part of the Eklavya Global Scholar PhD mentorship program, and there are other who have joined from outside. So this is just to let you know that it is on the basis of your question we'll be able to understand like what are the loopholes that and what are the other problems that you are actually facing, and based on that we will be trying to address those things. And one more thing, that if you find it difficult to address your question in English, you're welcome to say it out in Hindi for others help. I can translate on your behalf. So yeah, just go ahead. And I think
Oh,
somewhere
like
the,
just to say, like both me and Uday are conversant in Hindi. I mean, it may not be the best accent, but you will definitely have a good, easy conversation. So don't worry about that. You can go ahead.
Uh, Hello, Swagata. Can I ask question?
yeah, go ahead.
Yes, yes. Hello. My question is about in how the climate policy and climate governance. Uh, if you have any idea, like please guide me. How in climate policy we can use data science or the machine learning tools. Like
Hmm.
how this can be incorporated while doing the data analysis.
Hmm.
Yes, yes, yes.
uh,
Because
so,
in
so
terms of qualitative analysis, we can follow the research methodology which is there. But I just wanted to know how this tool can be incorporated in the social science perspective.
uh,
Hmm.
Before you address this question, I would just request Ketan, can you briefly introduce yourself and also to give it a larger context? So this is, I mean, this is something the problem or the issue with Ketan that he's trying to address here is that he comes from a social science background and now he wants to trade into things that would incorporate AI and data science things to address a social science issue. So that's actually to put it into a larger context so that others can also relate to it. So this is the thing, and this is the problem that Ketan and there are actually few others, those who are trying to deal with the same topics, incorporating AI,
Hmm.
incorporating data science, but at the same time coming from a humanities social science background.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the junction, that's the juncture at which Ketan and there are a few others who stand.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, uh, two things. One, whenever I answer, I want to address two things. One is the actual content of the question. The second is also like through the conversation we have over the mentorship period, you will also develop ideally the best way to communicate your ideas to others. So in a way, we'll use this like a practice thing also in terms of I'll point out how I understand things. So firstly, if you have generally a doubt about like you are interested in a new topic and then you want to do data science on that new topic and then you want to understand what's happening out there generally, right? If that's your structure of the problem, in this case, it's climate policy in data science, right?
Right,
But
right, right.
generally, one thing, whenever you encounter a topic like this or combination like this, best thing to do is look at the top 15, 20 universities that are doing any degree program on this exact combination. Like right now,
Okay.
if you go and look at the top 20 universities, you'll get a lot of this climate policy, data science, or data science, and then like racial justice, along with climate policy. So there are very interesting combinations right now. Two things you can do. One, if you look at the courses in that degree program, you'll get a very good sense of at least what fundamentals you need to get started on the topic. So usually like the syllabus document. So one good thing is most of the universities in abroad have the syllabus documents along with the course description on their websites. So for example, in your case, Ketan, we are at the University of Chicago and I went to school at Harris School of Public Policy. They just started a MS program in climate science and climate data science, climate
Oh,
change and data science, right? So then they have put up a lot of information on what is happening right now, who are the key researchers. So best thing is you find a course with that combination, look at the syllabus, see who is teaching it, and then look at the people they are writing, publishing papers with. Broadly, if you do this process, you'll get a sense of what's happening.
Right.
Like for
Right.
example, I work in child development space for research. A lot of early childhood and like adolescent development periods. So we look at how, because of all these climate events, we have like natural disasters, and because of that, schools get shut down. So there is a big education impact on climate events that we are trying to understand now. And there are a few people working on this topic. So the good thing is data science is now everywhere. It doesn't matter what topic you choose, there is always a data science problem to it. So in a way, people also advertise very well about which part of their university research and publications and faculty work on data science and other topic combinations. So spend like a good, I would say, 1 week just randomly searching on climate policy and data science programs, faculty, syllabus, textbooks in the syllabus document, and that will give a good sense. Right now, I would say that in Europe, it's a lot more in demand. Um, like because the US government also is a little bit anti-climate change discussion, there is not much opportunities in terms of the, like you can be like an ESG consultant, or like some kind of impact investment in climate and that kind of stuff. But a lot of work is happening definitely on like the European side in the climate policy data science combo. I hope that answered some questions.
Yes, yes, yes. Definitely, I got some overview how to proceed further. I will definitely go through website and also the Chicago program, which you just mentioned, so that I will get some insight about the course and how to proceed. Yes, yes. Thank you, Arvind. Thank you, Swagata.
Yeah, and I am sure that our answers will not be perfect. So feel free to put your follow-up questions also in the chat or bring it up later. So yeah, that's fine.
Yes, yes, yes.
can I go next? I mean, are we asking questions only, right? Yeah, yeah. Hi, my name is Yash. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. My name is Yash. I work as an RA at IRMA, Institute of Rural Management, Anand. I have done my master's in economics, and I've been working since 2 years in development projects related to cooperatives, need assessment in tribal communities. This is what I have been doing since 2 years. My work mostly is on qualitative research. So yeah, I want to do masters in I want to do PhD in economics.
Mhm.
Say US or say Europe. Okay, and a funded one, obviously. So I want to go and do it next year. So how should I approach it? I mean, if you can, although I've read a lot of things on internet, but how would you want me to do it? Since I also want to do my mostly my work is on qualitative, but I want to work in a quant heavy place. Meaning I want to combine both the things, like sort of a mixed methods. So yeah, maybe if you can suggest something.
Um, the easiest thing to do is right now look at um, the American Economic Association Journal publication in the last 1 year. Um, Definitely find the topic you really want to focus on within development economics, and then just see what has been. So the AEA journal usually takes like almost 1 to 2 years for turnaround from submission of the draft to publishing. So that means the journal for this year kind of covers the last 3 years of what are the most important topics in like economics in general, in development economics. So the best would be like find the topic, the authors, and then look at the reference list of those papers, and then just try to locate where these professors are like working. Because sometimes it can be like it's not necessary that all the famous universities have the best econ programs. Like there are certain disciplines of development economics which might be better in like a rank 10 university or a rank 12 university. And also because most of the time for PhD, you're also looking for the right mentor, which also means that some really good mentor that you need to have for your topic of interest may not be in the, let's say, top 5 universities. So the easiest is find them through publications, read them, see if that's the kind of work you want to do. So normally reading the journal paper published by the faculty or university you're interested in is a good idea because that language or the things they discuss normally is like automatic research summary for you. Like you don't have to do Google search. They have already done that work. So reading papers in general, I would say for your topical area is good to think about. So look at that. And then there is also like a econ job market forum. If you go on that, you can see like all the people who got which job offers in the last many years. I think both industry and academia. So you can also get a sense of like who's doing what kind of job and where did they study, etc. So I think basically this and the university department search randomly on research works, recent publications should get you started on some initial list. Was that helpful?
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. How? I mean, one more question. I'm so sorry. Yeah, in Europe we have a lot of this funding issues. Okay, I have seen a lot of my friends who have maybe gotten say 50%, 60% funding, and then they couldn't get the entire funding, and then those 40 remaining 40% is also in some lakhs. So it is very difficult, to get that. So how do you? I mean, how do you approach the funding part? Since US is more structured funding sort of a thing compared to Europe.
I honestly will not say I know a lot about European stuff because I've been fully in the US since I came here. I'm not sure about the stuff over there, but I can say one thing in general about funding, and this applies to actually everyone. Um, right now, funding in general is a problem. Like, no matter it's Europe or US or anything, generally it's an issue. So, one is the cost of doing a PhD. First of all, if you're planning for a PhD, then ideally you should aim for like full scholarship, like not the 2 year thing, not the 3 year thing. You should ideally aim for like at least 5 years these days, which a lot of schools do offer. The reason is because, like you said, without that, you don't have a lot of like alternative income streams. Like, for example, if you come to a private university, like Uday can also tell a lot about that because he has also done a lot of teaching positions and research positions at University of Chicago. Like if you're in a private university, you can earn a lot of side income, be it like doing like a teaching assistant work in another professional department, like a public policy school or some other business school or something. Um, or even doing research assistantship gives you sometimes enough money for your monthly expense. So there are various things to consider even with funding, like what is getting covered, what do you have to do for that coverage? For a PhD, ideally you should aim for like if it's Europe, I'm sure it's a 3 year funding, because US tends to be usually longer PhD period. If you're trying in Europe, I think that full 3 year funding you should aim for in PhD. And one thing is, and stuff that we normally don't do is negotiate. Like you should feel fully empowered to negotiate your PhD stipend with your admissions team or professor. Like, don't feel shy to express your needs and requirements and say, like, see, this is my condition, this is how much I need, and I need to earn this money somehow or get it compensated, whatever it is, right? Or you can be like, I would really love to be there, but I really need this full scholarship. Like, it's not really an option for me. One, you can push them a little bit because every department in admissions always has this extra pocket of money that they keep for these random things which they think they want to give money to. So sometimes they'll say like, "Oh, this is our fund scholarship policy." But if you push them a little bit, if you give them a convincing reason, you never know. Sometimes they might give that extra money. Mostly in a private university, also, let me qualify. So that's why I don't know how the European public university thing will be like this, but for US generally, this will be the case. And Uday, yeah, man, like I don't know how it was for you.
Yeah, no, I think one thing I'll add for Europe is right now a lot of professors have started advertising PhDs that are research assistantships already. So, say a professor working on climate policy and data science might they've started advertising PhD positions that are correctly in that field. So as you're researching PhD positions, you can look for particular advertisements that have perhaps gone out on EU social science research boards. I'll find the links for this and send it to Swagata so we can share it with the whole group. So there are certain opportunities that are just working with a particular professor, and it could be that you want to work with a particular professor in Europe, and what you read their papers, you get to know their work, you see how you're aligned, you see how you can develop their work in India in some way, and then you email them for a Zoom meeting, and they really like your work. So they might actually seek out funding from their department to have you as an RA, right? Like if you communicate to them in your conversation that you're a very good, researcher, that there's someone that you're someone they like to work with. And so that way you can kind of sidestep the departmental funding process where each department has a certain amount of scholarship or each university has a amount of scholarship. Because a lot of these professors are getting funded by EU grants. So European Union has a lot of grant funding still that's not been cut. And that's where a lot of professors are getting their funding from. So if you can perhaps get in touch with social scientists working on EU grants, and you can usually see that on their websites, on the professor websites, whether they have an EU grant, whether they don't. And then you can, when you talk with them, you can just share that, oh, these are my needs, and I do need a full scholarship, as Arvind was saying, for like this many years. Then it could be that they're looking for an RA to work with them for 3 years, that they want to also mentor as your PhD student. And that way, your research assistantship and your funding and your mentorship all will be aligned in your initial application. So it won't be the general application that you're applying for, an MSc in social policy or something, and then you have to go through how much of your funding is there in that university. It'll be a specific application to work with this professor that the professor is already, kind of supportive for you about. So that's another way is to kind of, strengthen your funding application.
Thank you so
I'll
much.
add
Thank you.
two.
Yeah.
I'll add two more things. One is like definitely explore the pre-doc opportunities wherever it is. So one, it gives you funded position, and you can always in your application to the pre-doc say that you want to continue working there or studying there. So you can even get through like a good conversation on a particular research topic with a professor and be like, I want to be a pre-doc and then I also want to start a PhD. So normally if you do a pre-doc and then transition to a PhD, internally they make sure that you get full funding. Reason because they have already hired you for a paying position, so they know your value, they have trained you as a pre-doc. So normally, I have seen that in public policy schools, if you go from pre-doc to doctoral application, first of all, your recommendation is internal and very strong. So that automatically improves your chance of, being in the top percentile for getting scholarship. And secondly, you can negotiate internally also, even before the application cycle begins through your professor, admissions department, you can always have that conversation. I put a link on the chat, and I definitely like look for pre-doc in general, I would say. if you're thinking about PhD as one approach. Second thing is, a surprising number of professors are active on LinkedIn and on Blue Sky and on Twitter. These three places, you can very easily start a conversation with them. They are much more likely to also give some kind of pointers, advice, or response in these three platforms. Blue Sky, definitely, I will say, like everybody in this group should become comfortable with academic Twitter or like academic Blue Sky. So these are the communities of researchers, professors on these platforms. They are very active, some of them, and they actually put out the latest resources. They share a lot of new resources, especially new opportunities. So that is very free, curated information for you. So I would say take advantage of that. Um, in general, to strengthen your profile, be it for masters or for PhD, I would say if you can somehow force yourself to write like a blog on the topic of your interest, something regular, even once in a month is okay, but something that kind of starts to show how you think, how do you write, how do you analyze a problem. That's like very easy way to convince people that they should give you full funding. So the funding is a lot more about like also convincing people that you're worth the full investment. And it's up to you how you make that convincing argument. It can be like Uday said, by talking to a professor, or you show some kind of an online programming project or something, or a data analysis project, something or a paper you've written before at your work. It can be anything, but you need to kind of have that extra ingredient to make it work. And then networking through these platforms.
So much. Thank you both of you. It was very helpful. Thank you so much.
And by writing blog, what do you think should be the ideal platform that for writing the blogs?
Man, I would say it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
Google free blog, that first website that comes to a free registration. Like you are at max, you're gonna write like 20 blogs in 1 year. Like that is ambitious. Okay. So for that 20 blog, you don't need to think a lot at all. Like you're not going to get some celebrity level, visibility with the blog we write. It's more about the habit. It's more about the discipline of writing. It's about realizing that writing is not an output, it's the process. The more you write, even like when you take notes, like another thing you will definitely appreciate is amount of note taking that helps you learn in PhD also generally. Like, um, so think of the blogs as like your mental note taking and summarizing your thinking. It's for you to see the quality of your thinking. And then that helps you understand, okay, I need to improve in writing. I need to improve in background research. I need to improve in data analysis. So that is even during this Eklavya fellowship process, when you do this, it's also easier for us to help you because then we know exactly where you need help with. So I would say in general, just start. It doesn't matter where or how, don't think too much. Just start.
Should I go ahead?
Yeah, Jatin.
1 minute. There were two people on chat who asked a question before.
Oh,
I think William Carey had asked a question about, is it about the professor or Q ranking considered for MPP program? Man, let me be honest with you. MPP program right now, I'm not sure how good an idea it is because the market is very bad for MPP graduates. Both and the research funding cut in the US particularly has badly hit like employment opportunities for MPP graduates. If you want to do a very particular topic, that you really want to become an expert in, or you want to definitely work in that area, then it's okay. For example, if you want to work on climate policy and, renewable agriculture, which does not happen outside, you have to go and study there. That kind of situation, it's still worth it because when you graduate, you're also a very niche expert. So maybe you will get that job probability higher. But even then, you should understand the job prospects. Like I would say, more than any factor right now, job prospects. Like, look at the job prospect in your topic and interest, your area. Where do you think you want to work? What kind of organization you want to work? On LinkedIn, go and see their current job postings. Who is working there? Will they hire you based on that profile, of other people in the organization? Do that background research and then from there do backward planning. Like, okay, if this is the kind of combination of topics where people get most jobs, and this is the kind of organization I want to work in, where did these people study? Like, which policy school did they go to? And then try to backtrack that way. That is a much more easier way of understanding a good match for your requirement than by simply reading about professors and other things. Because see, every policy program is going to teach you the basics. It's up to you how well you learn it. Like all the teachers, all the faculty who teach these courses are pretty good on average. So it's not like you're going to get like bad information or, based on the program and all. It's mostly about like the other things in the department that you also want. For example, you may be interested in food policy and data science, and maybe only two public policy schools actually do that kind of coursework in the MPP degree. So then you have no other choice but to focus on those schools. So more than the objective factors about the department and program, it's knowing more what you want that is helpful in understanding which MPP program you should go for. And then, of course, the job prospects and scholarship and all these other things, the cost of living in that city or area, all that comes into play. But at the bigger level, I say work from backwards. Figure out where you want to be after graduation, and then backtrack to see where you should be for the MPP. Um, and happy to answer any follow-up on that generally.
Ashutosh ji has been waiting for quite some time now.
Tara had asked a question.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Tara, please go ahead.
Hey, hi to all. I'm audible.
Hi.
I think something is stuck. I mean, are you able to hear me all?
It's a little bit choppy, but we can hear you.
Yeah.
Firstly, before introducing myself, I just want to say I'm totally stuck. What should I do? So currently, I'm pursuing a PhD at Jamia in political science department. I started there in 2023. Prior that, I did my master's in JNU, completed in 2021. And that time I was very, very ambitious to be purely academician or a good scholar. But since I have joined Jamia, I lost everything. I mean, you may say my interest, my ambitious to do a good research, because the environment is like whatever you want to do, just do. And being Indian, I think it's not me only, it's Indian nature. Like when you get full freedom, you can't do anything. So since 2023 itself, I'm just thinking to apply abroad. I met like one of my senior is in Rutgers University, named Manohar Boda. He just directed me everything last year also, but last year I went to IHS, probably a year program. It took 9 months. And there I met Gautam Bhan, and he suggested not to apply that year, but in next summer school. So here is now I am totally confused. What should I do? Because current PhD I can't do. My current PhD seem like totally shit to me. So I'm totally confused. And I should say since last month I'm totally in depressed zone. So I just need your advice, suggestion, and all.
Uday, go first, man.
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing, Tara. I really have a lot of sympathy with with what you're going through. It's really it's a structural issue. It's not really about you or your capabilities. As you said, it's not a supportive environment for doing very critical work, for doing, for encouraging good research. And yeah, like I went through this during my PhD in Chicago as well, where I think as soon as I changed my topic to be about Du Bois and Dr. Ambedkar, there were not many supportive faculty. And by and large, I think it's a global issue with PhD students where they just kind of expect you to figure it out on your own. And once one gets into like a bad mental health cycle, it can be really, really hard to pull oneself out. So, I really appreciate you sharing so vulnerably, what you're going through. You're not alone. A lot of students go through this because most PhD programs are not set up institutionally or structurally to support all their students. So I'm so glad you've joined us and that you're thinking about these questions about whether moving to a new place will help set up a better research environment for you to do your work. I think definitely building up some momentum. So the thing is that when one's depressed, right? Like you get, at least I'll share from a personal perspective. I stopped believing I could do any work, because every month that went by when I didn't write anything, when I didn't read a book, when I didn't share any ideas with anybody, I started feeling like I was stupider and stupider and started feeling like, oh, like, do I deserve this? And, am I good enough? Like, I've taken this huge opportunity and I'm taking up all these resources and like, what is it all good for? And so I think what slowly started getting me out of that depression was proving to myself semi-regularly. Of course, it doesn't happen overnight. As Arvind was saying earlier, that I'm good at this, that I can write, I can read a book over a week because reading is still very fun. If it's literature, if it's philosophy, if it's history, if it's political science, I can read something. And then at the end of that week, I can send a text to my friend about what that book was about, and then I can slowly add that. I can read 2 books a week, or I can read 2 articles a week. And I can slowly, like, send an email to a friend, send, a Google Doc to a friend or a colleague about, what those articles were about what, this subject is about what the new idea is. And basically, like, slowly, as I started sharing those ideas with friends who were supportive, sharing those ideas with even professors. It's awesome you met Gautam Ban. I would encourage you to really try to set a target that you meet him or have a call with him every couple of months. Um, yeah, no, absolutely. Like the way supervisors treat their students and the way they talk to you, the way they make you doubt your own intelligence and like completely talk in a humiliating and contemptuous way, that destroys your self-confidence completely. So like I don't want to like underestimate how that is, and that's not your fault that because we respect our teachers, and so if our teachers telling us like really harmful and like very unkind things, it will get in our heads, and it'll affect our mental health. So yeah, I'm not saying that it's easy or that it kind of like you can get over it overnight or and it's something like that. I'm just saying that at some point there's things that we can control and things we can do and things that we can't control and things that are outside of our space of control. And the things that are in the space of our control are basically the community that we build and the skills that we build. And the more we apply the skills that we build in any surrounding, and the more effective we are at our skills, the next day becomes a little bit, more doable. So I would really say that I'm glad you're part of this group. I would really encourage you to continue interacting with your friend at Rutgers as well, the senior. I forgot the name, but like please interact with him and we can work together on your application this December. Like you can do some amazing work in the next few months, and we can kind of interact on a regular basis every week, every couple of weeks. And yeah, it was not a fluke that you got into the PhD program. Like you worked your ass off and you're brilliant at the topic, and for everybody, that it's not just like you're all really, really brilliant scholars already and you're brilliant thinkers. It's just a matter of applying your skills regularly and building that sense of self-competence, that sense of self-confidence. And it's a really painful and scary journey, but you will get through this. You will really get through this, and you will grow so much from this, and you will share this with people around you. So yeah, I'll just say that for now. I just want to talk about the emotional side of things and the skill-based side of things. But yeah, Arvind, would you like to add anything? Arvind, did you hear me? Hello?
I think some network issue might be.
Okay.
Hmm.
Should we move to the next question?
Yes. Yeah, Ashutosh ji.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Uh, thank you, Swagat. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Thank you, Swagat, for organizing this Zoom meeting. Yeah. And my name is Dr. Ashutosh Thakre. I am already a PhD from Pune University. My question is regarding postdoc. I want to pursue a postdoc maybe in Europe or USA, wherever I get an opportunity. So, as far as my profile is concerned, I am a PhD in English literature from Pune University, and my area of specialization is post-colonial literatures and feminist theory. So, I would like to ask what are the opportunities for me? What are the post-doctoral opportunities? Actually, I already tried at many universities in Europe, but since it's been more than 8 years since I completed my PhD. I did my PhD in February 2017. So it's been more than 8 years now. So as far as Europe is concerned, fellowships such as Marie Curie or Marie Curie in Europe or Fulbright in USA are difficult for me. So what would be your suggestion? Because when I approached individual professors, they said they are ready to accept me as a post-doctoral candidate, but only issue is with the fundings, right? So some professors in actually I was already in Germany for 1 year through the exchange program of Pune University way back in 2010. So I approached a few professors in Germany as well, but as I already said, funding issues are there. So what would be your suggestion? I would like to ask both of you, Uday and Arvind, please.
Uday, I think it's definitely your question.
Yeah, I think so I think with a postdoc, especially because it's so many years you finish the PhD, right? Like a lot of the big funding opportunities and even job opportunities like have this weird requirement where they say that has to be like 5 years from the PhD or the first 3 to 5 years. Actually, today I heard an interesting approach that one of my friends is taking in Germany, actually, where he managed to secure through, I think, some of his own friends and networks, a guest scholar invitation.